Yeah, maybe. Good morning. The question that I keep hearing is, where is everybody? Which I always find weird to ask that of the people who are here, because we are here, and then the where is everybody, just between you and me, the important ones and the people we like are here, the other ones, they just didn't make it. So, well, there's open studios, which I'm sure everybody is going to see all the artists' work, as my wife is doing. I don't know, is there anything else going on this weekend? I mean, there's beautiful weather. That might account for something. Yeah, well.
Arts Alive last night as well.
What, and so people were up partying from Arts Alive till 2 in the morning?
They make a Friday night market.
Yeah. I know, but they're always there. So, incidentally, we're not putting down the Zoomers. We're so delighted that you are here as far as we are concerned. Okay, let us move forward. I'm Scott. I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes. We always start out our service with an acknowledgement on the land on which we are located. So the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. And next up, Donna will lead us in some exciting music.
Please stand.
I am standing.
Thank you. I knew that. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. So gotta put one foot in front of the other and ahead. Valley's there. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared. Maybe I'm scared too. But here I am. Right next to you. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't give up. No. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead.
Wow, the energy was like twice the people were here, so everybody is here in spirit. All right, we start off each morning or each Sunday by the affirmation that is on the top half of the screen, and then on the bottom half, get up and introduce yourself, admire somebody's t-shirt. Today is T-shirt Sunday, so that's why a lot of us are wearing t-shirts. And
Maybe
find
that's
some.
why the others didn't come.
That's because they don't have t-shirts, right? That's why they were. Angelica's trying to do something, for like first Sunday of every month, T-shirt Sunday. She's talking about PJ Sunday, I think. I don't wear PJs. That's going to be a problem, so I won't be here that week. So anyway, we will all say together, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Get up and introduce yourself to somebody. Say hi, give a hug.
So the pajama thing has been nixed already. I had all these people tell me no. But I also, if you read your newsletter, I had said some suggestions and asked you if you had any. So if you have any fun things to do for the summer on the first Sunday of the month, it's only a few Sundays, so let me know.
Okay, we have the schedule, which is on the screen here. It's funny because I wore this shirt. I got up this morning, and my wife is participating in Open Studios, which is why she's not here, which is also probably why Louise is not here. It goes on today, and Well, for some people doing 2 weekends, we're only doing one. But I put a sign out in front of our house, which has to be dug into the ground to tell people it's open studio. So I go out there, I get all dressed for coming here to look nice, and then I realize, oh, I got to go back outside and I got to dig in the dirt. So I change clothes into something really casual, go out to the front yard, dig around, put the sign up, come back, put on my nice clothes. Then I spill something on my shirt. So then I change my shirt, put on another nice shirt, walk out the door and go, oh, that's right, it's T-shirt Sunday. Go back in and put on the same thing I was wearing when I started at the day. So this shirt I got when I saw Spamalot in 2009, and so I'm not dead yet. And kind of a brief funny story. As a lot of you know, I'm a role player for the police academy and for the mental health department. It's called CSET, and it's a really great position to have because you get to help. We need law enforcement, we all agree, and we want good law enforcement. And I get to help train in that sense, put them into real life scenarios as their cadets so they can learn how to act and how to deal with these things. So I get to do several roles, and this week, one of the roles I played was a dead body. I kid you not, it was a tough role, I had to lay there. But it's because the officers have to learn what do you do if somebody calls and says there's a body in the building. So they need to come and find out what's going on. And I don't know the role I'm going to be playing when I go in. And I happen to be wearing this shirt. And I wanted to pass along, call this a demonstration, call this an affirmation of hope, call this just a good feeling that I really had to share. At the role playing, this week most of my roles were what are called 50501s. Basically, it's if somebody is either going to be a danger to someone else, a danger to themselves, or severely disabled. So that's when the police will show up, and they usually bring the social worker team with them, and it's something like that. So things like I played a man who was a vigilante who wanted to kill all the gang members. So that was one role. I played somebody that was danger to others. Danger to self was I believed I no longer needed to eat or drink. And so they had it help me in that sense. And then I played somebody who was suicidal and really ran them through the ringer. But one of them was I played somebody with severe dementia who didn't know who he was, where he was, had no idea who he was, had no ID on him. And this one young officer, his name was Israel, he's 27, he's not yet an officer. He came in and he treated me, my character, it's role-playing for me, but for them it's real. They have to act like it's a real thing. And so he treated my character with such love and respect. He said, can I sit in front of you? And my character just kind of, hi. That's all I would do. And he pulls up a chair in front of me, and this was the most compassionate, kind, loving person I think I might have ever met. Like I said, he's 27. He's going to be an officer at APD, I think it is. And it was so... I had tears in my eyes because of how kind he was, because I know when he gets into the field, that is the type of officer he and many others are going to be, because they really train people on empathy and compassion, and you can't put that kind of empathy into somebody. They have to be born with it. So I just, I sat up that night, I was thinking, what a wonderful demonstration to see that there are people like that who are out there and who are in positions of authority and power. And I just wanted to share that because we forget about all of that. So call it a demonstration, call it a manifestation, just call it a nice short story to share. It will be a future column. Excuse me?
Now you are healed.
And now, yeah, and I'm fine. Look at me, I remembered who I am. But what a loving man. Well, and it turns out he's a mixed martial arts fighter on top of that. Okay. So we shall move on. Thank you for letting me share that. I just figured good news has to be shared because it doesn't always get shared. What do we have coming up? Well, you saw everything on the schedule minus one thing, which is the men's group, which is also coming up. Our Grateful Gathering is this coming Saturday, 10:30 to noon with David and Lena. Speaking of being grateful, attend if you are grateful. If you are not grateful, attend and you will leave grateful. So that will be this coming Saturday. Speaking of gratitude for my brothers in the men's group, What a wonderful way to spend 2 hours every couple of weeks. If you would like to join us and you are a man, please come by. It has been put together by Edward, and we have become, in many ways, at the risk of it being a cliche, a band of brothers. Older brothers, but brothers nonetheless.
Does that take place here?
Yeah, it takes place here in what do you call it, social hall. Yeah, it's really lovely. Kate, what was that?
Very social.
It is very social, and unfortunately, James is also part of it, but we like him. And we're quoting James whenever any of us has an issue. We're talking about something. Sometimes it's TV shows, sometimes it's serious stuff. And I can tell you what James will say: needs more love. Needs more love. Needs more love. Okay. Speaking of that, for the love of writing, that's the third Friday of each month. It'll be on the 19th. Led by Angelica and or Lorna. I think that's this coming Friday. No, it's 2 Fridays from now, isn't it? So you come by, you write, you have fun, you get to know some people. Please join us for that too. It doesn't matter if you're an accomplished novelist. Just come by and write and have fun. The sharing salon will be taking place on the 20th. Oh, excuse me. I skipped one. That's Art with Louise is taking place. I would let Louise come up here, but she is doing open studios, so all the information is right there for you. She does this every month. Thank you, Louise, even though you're not here. The Sharing Salon, led by Carol and James, will take place on the 21st. We'll let you talk about that next week. I think people are becoming comfortable with what it is. Sign-up sheet over on the side. Hawaii in the fall, if you would like to join Angelica and a group of people who are celebrating the 40th anniversary of the forming of Angelica's Church in Hawaii. It's going from the 22nd to the 29th. Please feel free to, what you cannot see is Angelica doing a sitting hula dance, which is worth the price of admission alone. But Angelica and Burl are putting it together. Please see them. If you would, wait.
We're doing an informational meeting on the 28th.
Hello.
I think it was. That
I wanted to go
part of
backwards.
the
There we go.
part.
Informational meeting on June 28th.
After this gathering.
After this gathering. Okay, now we will go forward. Practitioners are available today. The practitioners are myself, Edward, and Susan. If you'd like to talk to a practitioner, we'd love to talk with you about whatever might cross your mind. See us after the service. Little Pantry needs to be fed. We feed the community. We do a lot of it. The Little Pantry, if you've ever noticed, is empty usually within a day. So if you have non-perishable foods, please put them in the Little Pantry or bring them by on Monday between noon and 4, and Walk and All will break them into smaller packages if there are a lot and put them out in the Little Pantry. Our new theme, The Great Unpacking. This is, I've had a lot of fun with this one. Interesting thing is the theme was going to be Traveling Light. Angelica said, the theme for June is Traveling Light. I said, that's the same theme we had last June. And she said, let's make it The Great Unpacking. So this, this is a replacement one, which I had actually designed last year in part and got to just recycle it and update it. So that is our theme for the month of May, The Great Unpacking in the New Now.
I thought we just put that stuff
That's in
away.
June. Yeah. Speaking of the great unpacking, Twice Nice is coming up in July, so be prepared to help out with that. And that's right, this is for June, not for May. We are now in June. And coming up next, Donna will lead us in the song Sanctuary. Susan will conduct our moment of peace. Reverend Angelica will do the message, and then Jeff Smoller will close off that section with music for us all. It's all yours.
Yes, thank you. I also want to remind our singers and wannabe singers, we'll be doing the Patriotic Medley in July, and we'll start rehearsals after next week. So be thinking about that. I invite you to take a nice deep breath. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy. sacred truth with thanksgiving. I remain a living sanctuary for you.
I know we're not giving awards for t-shirts today, but I want the one for the oldest. This is 50 years old. It represents my old life, so. I participated in the class that Reverend Angelica taught, becoming the peace we pray for. And in a lot of our discussions, the thing that, when the question was asked, what brings you back to peace? Or how do you get yourself centered? It was always started with a breath. Take a breath. It's amazing how often that came up. So I found this reading, again, it's from Wayne Muller's The Sabbath. I invite you to get comfortable in your chairs and just listen to what he has to say. In the Buddhist community of Plum Village, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese monk, periodically rings a mindfulness bell. Upon hearing the bell, everyone stops and takes 3 silent, mindful breaths. Then they are free to continue their work, awakened ever so slightly by the Sabbath pause of mindfulness. We can choose anything to stop us like this: the telephone ringing, a stoplight when we are driving, whenever our hand touches a doorknob, before we eat or drink. Choose one common act during your day to serve as a Sabbath pause. Whenever this arises, whenever you touch a doorknob or hear the telephone, simply stop. Take 3 silent, mindful breaths, and then go through the door or answer the phone. See how it changes you to take these tiny Sabbath moments every day.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
And every time, excuse me, we take a Sabbath breath, we come back to center, the center that knows that we are love and that we radiate love. And our job here is to be love, to be kindness and compassion. And so coming here on a Sunday is my Sabbath moment. It renews me, it refreshes me. It gives me hope, and it gives me joy. And I know that we all feel this love, this hope, this joy, just by being here, just by being in communion with like minds. And so I know that this service brings to each of us what we need to hear, what we need to feel, who we need to be. And so I simply let it unfold in its right and perfect way, because I know that there is no other place I would rather be right here in this moment, in this Sabbath moment. And so I simply let it be, and so it is.
I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
And now it's my pleasure to invite Angelica up to the podium for her words of wisdom. I hope you got it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Zoomers as well. Oops, what did I knock over? Oh, the bell. Just what I need to do is break something, right? So, today's talk is called, What Are You Carrying? And before I get into the metaphysical, I thought I had a few questions for you. So the question is, how much are we actually carrying that we really don't need to anymore? And so on the physical level, ladies, when was the last time you cleaned out your purse? Boy, did I find some interesting things in my purse yesterday. Pieces of paper, little notes, receipts, etc. And don't most of us have that one kitchen drawer, the junk drawer we call it? You know, there's keys in. I only have one, though I think, yeah. So mine has mystery keys in it. It has receipts. It has all kinds of bits of who knows what. And you know what? There's still boxes in my shed that never got opened from when I moved here. That's 12 years ago. Now, I happen to know what's in them because I wrote on them what they were. So, you know, it's not like I needed them. Like one is a box of important papers, you know, and though how important they are now, probably not. One of these days I'll drag them out, and normally what I do is add more stuff to the shed. So on a physical level, we tend to gather stuff around us, but this month's theme is really about consciousness. And it's like we have a kitchen drawer in our mind. It's full of all kinds of things, especially emotions. So we feel fear, old grief, disappointment, resentment, shame, the need to prove ourselves, the fear of not belonging, the ache of being unseen. Stories that we created years ago still shape how we move through the world. And it's important in this teaching in particular as we're putting in all this wonderful new stuff about how we can be more spiritual and how we can manifest things in our lives, etc., to let go and make room for those new ideas. The interesting thing is that most of the time we don't even know we're carrying them until something brushes against them. A doctor might say something frightening. A relationship changes, a headline shakes us, and suddenly there's a reaction mentally, physically, and or emotionally. And I have to admit that as I'm asking Scott, well, where is everybody this morning? I'm thinking, well, all those people came to see Reverend Lynn last week. So I think one of the most compassionate things that we can learn is this. Our reactions are not punishments, they're revelations. They show us what still needs love. Dr. Holmes said, the healing of any condition is accomplished through a change in consciousness, not through denial of it, but through awareness, being conscious of what we've been unconsciously carrying. And you know, right now, I'm working with so many people, not only in the United States, but also in Canada, that are feeling exhausted, just exhausted. And I know that it's because we're carrying far more fear than we realize. So we're not only afraid for our personal lives, but there's political tension, there's financial uncertainty, there's grief for the world. There's concern for the children and grandchildren. There's a constant bombardment of scary information. It's like I don't even want to look at Facebook anymore first thing in the morning because there's going to be something that a certain person did that's going to set me off. So what I know is that partially I'm trying to carry all this while still appearing calm, spiritual, capable, and fine. Hi, how are you doing? I'm fine. Has anybody said that lately? So this month also happens to be Pride Month, and I thought that this would be a really good moment to add this to this mix. You know, when I had the Hawaii church, I helped found the Big Island AIDS Project because I had quite a few people in my center and quite a few people, men mostly, who were going through AIDS. This was when AIDS was really out there. So I visited a lot of people in the hospital. I did group counseling. I did a lot of stuff under the guise of the Big Island AIDS Project. And you know, I came to this realization when I was doing this, that this community had spent years carrying things that were never theirs to carry in the first place, like shame, like fear, like rejection, like the burden of pretending, or the ache of not feeling safe enough to be visible in the community. And I realized that one of my sacred tasks and my community's task was to help people lay down the burdens that they never should have had to carry. And to help them stand in the light and say, this is who I am, and I'll no longer carry the lie that my existence is wrong. And for them, I saw that to adopt that, to let go of all the stuff they had to deal with, and adopt that idea took a lot of courage. And I chose to call it sacred courage. So, you know, what I know is that healing is not becoming someone new. It's about laying everything down that's preventing us from being who we already are. And I watched that happen, as well as I watched, in 3 months' time, 5 men died in our church community. And the whole community was so affected by the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one. And it made me feel, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I got involved in the AIDS Project, was because I realized that there was nothing wrong with anybody. We are who we are. And society piles all this stuff on us. And what I saw was that as most of these men in particular had learned that they weren't enough, etc., when they were children. And it became a belief. And Dr. Holmes wrote, "We are bound by nothing except belief." So when we look at our lives right now, what beliefs are we still carrying along our path? I mentioned right off the bat this morning, well, when I talked about all the people coming to see Reverend Lynn, I got in touch actually yesterday with one of the feelings that still is hanging on in there that I thought I had healed a long time ago, and that's abandonment. And when I realized that, wow, it's still there, I started crying. And it was like, how I'm going to be 78 next month. How long have I been doing this? I mean, I know that it came from getting adopted. I can remember it so clearly, I was 2.5 years old. I was riding this little trike, the kind that doesn't have pedals, but, you move it with your feet. And I stopped to look. This is in Southern California. I'm looking at the roof of the house, or it could have been Eureka, but that's a different story. The house had the Mexican Spanish tile roof, and there was a bird that kept flying into one of those tiles, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm having the greatest time. This bird is building a nest, and I see her fly away and get something and fly back, and I'm enjoying myself tremendously, and then I hear my name called. And it wasn't from my birth mother, but because she was at work, it was from the lady that babysitted me all the time. And so I go to the back door, and I'm told to come into the house, and there's another lady there. A pretty lady. And the babysitter says, "You're going to go with this lady." And she told me to go in my room, and you could have one stuffed toy and one dress, one article of clothing. And so I went in my room, and I got this patchwork dog and a dress. And I come back out, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going shopping, or I'm going somewhere fun. I never got to go home again. I got adopted by this family. And I recognized that at that moment is when I realized, actually when I got there, and I remember my mother telling me when I was little, I used to stand in the crib and going, "When do I get to go home? When do I get to go home?" So even though I've done so much healing work on this whole thing, to have it show up again is like, okay, universe. And then I had to ask myself, how much energy has this taken me to carry this belief that doesn't match the truth of my being? And I also realized that we no longer have to define ourselves by our old wounds. So hopefully yesterday when I did the processing I did after I started thinking about all this stuff, etc., I let it go totally. But it also made me realize that sometimes spiritual practice is simply becoming honest enough to notice what we're carrying and loving ourselves enough to begin to put it down. You know, on that monthly thing that, you know, Scott does such great work on these monthly things. I love it. When he did that and he sent it to me, I thought, oh, look, a cat. You know, that was the first thing I noticed. That's one of his cats, though, not one of mine. But that woman is opening that box with the little angel or fairy or whatever it is coming out of it with all these sparkles around it. And that's like our inner self, our real inner self, that spiritual self that chose to come here and chose to express itself as us. It's like, woohoo, I'm free. And I think that as we let go of these things that we've been holding on to and carrying for all these years, that we'll begin to feel that. We'll begin to feel that sense of freedom. We have to become honest enough to do it, though, and not say, oh, I'm fine. You know, I told this in class the other day, and I've mentioned it a few times lately, so I'll mention it again. I love this teaching. I love this teaching because I am a student. I am a curious person. And I've allowed myself to continue being a student all along the way. And one of the things I know about this teaching is that we don't get to the level, to this pinnacle point, and it's done. It's never done. It's like there's a constant opening up, a constant opening up. And it's a good thing. And you know, I realize that all of us, even me with all of my education and ministerial work and spiritual practice, I'm still uncovering hidden thoughts, things that I've been carrying around. I'm still discovering places within myself that are ready for more healing, more freedom, and more love. I want us all to be ready, no matter how old we are, or no matter how clear. That's a word that they used to use in Scientology, or maybe they still do, I don't know. But, you know, I've studied all the different religions, but clear is a good word. I like that idea because instead of seeing the inner me with shadows that are moving around that are these old thoughts, I'm clear, a clear channel for the divine. And then something happens and the shadow comes back in, and you know how it goes. However, this is what I know, is that Ernest Holmes himself continually evolved throughout his life. He did not treat truth with a capital T as something complete. He understood it as a living revelation, something that we grow into. I thought, whew, I'm not the only one. So for me, this is part of the great unpacking. Not becoming perfect, but becoming more aware of what there is to let go of, and doing it with compassion and love for ourselves. And do you know, I think one of the greatest gifts of this path that we're all on is that consciousness keeps unfolding. So let's go into treatment. Gratefully, I acknowledge the powerful presence of the divine. I recognize it absolutely everywhere. It's in the air we're breathing. It's in the chair that you're sitting on. It's in the room, the building, the community, and it's within ourselves and within each other. Each one of us is an emanation of the divine. So I know for us, all of us, that we choose to look at what we've been carrying up until now. And I declare that we can do it gently, easily, and perhaps even humorously. We allow ourselves to be open to know this is no longer necessary, and let it go. We participate in this great unpacking, and we see ourselves as vibrant, sacred beings. So with a grateful heart, I release these words, knowing that each one of us is on our own particular path, knowing that each one of us is doing the work in our own way, knowing that we are available, more and more available, to the powerful presence that is our true nature. And this is good. This is God. And so it is. Oh, I wanted to mention something before we have Jeff play some music for us. When Susan was talking about the breath, I remembered this thing that I studied about a week or so ago that was with a man who was like one of the top neuro something or others in the United States. I don't know. He studies the brain. He says, if you're feeling really tense and really irritated or whatever, you're not feeling your natural, vibrant, joyful self, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, right in the back of where the middle of your two front teeth is. So on your gum, but you put your tongue there, and you keep your mouth closed, and you hum. I want you to do that for again for a minute, but just in a minute. You'll be able to feel it in your body. What he says is it's activating the vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve in our body, and also the one that helps us be the calmest. If you're uncomfortable or feeling stressed or whatever, if you're not feeling calm, try that. So let's do it again. So let's put our tongue right behind our teeth, but on the gum, and close your mouth and hum. Can you feel it in your body? I feel it in my neck. I feel along my sides. I feel it in my chest. It's just amazing. Just amazing. And now let's have some music and bring the energy back up.
I play this song often. I try to do it once a year here. It's this June. I think it's time. There's a lot of crap going on in the world. Can we agree? Yep. Can we also agree there's a lot of good? Yes. Okay. This song is voted by most surveys most often capable of making people smile. Okay. So smiles are good. They generate really good brain chemicals. I was 14 years in brain biz. I was even a guitar teacher to people with brain injuries. Smiles generate goodness. And when my daughter was growing up, and that was like decades ago, we used to do, when she had attitude problems, we would do smile checks. And we'd go, smile check. She's all pissed off. She'd smile. Her daughter, who's 3, whenever I see Ava giving her mom attitude, I say, Ava, time for a smile check. Okay. So when there's a lot of crap going on in the world, and we could practice this right now, when I say smile check, everybody smile. Smile check. I can hear that smile. That's good. All right. Here's the smile song.
All you have to do is play, and we smile. What a lovely piece. All right, speaking of lovely and smiling, we are going to share our gifts because we are so grateful. There are going to be some plates that are going around. Please put whatever you can in it. This goes to help the center and the community. And as always, put love and a smile into the plate. With that, the music will play, the plates will go, but we will first say, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. Come forward. I don't fight, not usually. We are grateful for understanding that everything is energy, and the money, the gifts that are put into these plates are just another form of energy representing what it is that we feel. And we feel love and we feel hope, and we put it out into the community and into the state. And as it goes forth and it makes changes that we all know are happening, we smile broadly. And with that, we release these words into the universal law of mind because they're already happening, and all we are doing is recognizing them. And together with gratitude, we say, and so it is. Thank you. Okay, this is the first Sunday of the month, which means we are going to have a potluck in the other room. It also means that we have got birthdays. I mean, we've always got birthdays, but this is the first Sunday of the month, so we bring them up. Burl has brought some flowers. If you would like to receive a flower because it is your birthday, please stand. If you want to fake it, we won't know. If you just really want the flower, I'm sure the flower will go out. If it is your birthday, please stand and we will sing you happy birthday. There are no June birthdays?
We're going to sing happy birthday, too.
There we go, we got one. Do not sit, we must sing loudly and off key in your honor. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. Happy birthday. This is where we find out how many of us don't know each other's names if we don't wear name tags. Okay, we are going to have somebody read our community statement of inclusion, and then Angelica Donna's going to lead us in the peace song, but before then, we do have time for a couple of demonstrations. And a reminder of what a demonstration is you picture something, you imagine it, you believe in it, and it manifests itself in the real world. And it isn't always like, oh, I'm going to get $1 million. As a matter of fact, truth being given, it's rarely that. But it's more things like I want to be happier or improved health or whatever it might be. And you've seen it come true. So do we have anybody who has a demonstration that they would like to share in a few words? Well, man, this philosophy sucks, doesn't it? Oh, there we go.
Okay, I saw a guy with the dog take a big dump right next door, the dog, right next door in front of my dentist's office. And I was just getting out of my car, and I said, now, you know it's your job to pick that up, don't you? And he's just like, ugh. And I said, you have a bag? And he said, no. And you know, I thought I was going to get a lot of gas from the guy. So I go in and my house, and I've got a doggy bag. I go out there, and I said, here, I've got a doggy bag. And the guy said, thank you. And he was so nice about it.
Did you do a smile check?
The dog was smiling.
I guess you could say some demonstrations are a lot of crap, but we wouldn't say that. Lance, you want to come forward? Sorry. Jeff, pick it up, quick, faster. I meant be fun. Come on, Lance.
Good morning. So, of late, maybe a couple months ago, I had the epiphany. I have an idea. I use Safeway a lot. I live in that part of town, and I'll go through the threshold, the drop curb behind Walgreens. And more than half the time, there is somebody posted there with a sign. And it occurred to me, you know, I rarely ever gave anything to them because I'm driving my car, negotiating the drop curb going out, or my motorcycle makes it even harder. But, you know, I wanted to find a way to give. And so one day I had this epiphany when I was smelling the chicken in Safeway that they put out. So what I do is I take a bag and I put 4 pieces in there. It ends up being between $3 and $4. And I put it in the bag and I come out, and sometimes it's great. There's a guy there that's getting hassled by the Safeway guy. He says, you know, I don't know what it was, but just outside the door. And somehow I knew that he was hungry. It had something to do with the exchange there. I think he was being accused of taking something out of the store by the guy. And I kind of got in between him and I said, do you need anything? And he goes, well, I'm kind of hungry. And I reached in, because it was one of the first times I did that. I reached into my bag and I pulled it out and I handed it to him. There you go. And he said, thank you very much. And of course, it gave me a huge lift. But the coolest thing about it is sometimes there's nobody there at that spot or in front of the store. So I get to eat the chicken.
You find your good fortune where it shows up. Okay, who would like to read our community statement of inclusion? Thank you, Burl. And then after that, Donna will come up and lead us in the peace song.
I'm doing that because I want to show off my shirt.
You what?
I want to show off my shirt. Yeah, I know. Did you? No, okay.
Oh, that's neat. I have one of those, so
We need to reprint those.
Start a conversation here. Okay, the community statement for inclusion and affirmation that we, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates that with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well. Amen.
thank you.
Thank you, Burl. A couple of things I wanted to share. Playing Here Comes the Sun, I received a phone call from Spanky in our gang. She says, I'm having my 84th birthday. Can you be there? I went, okay, yeah. She's very cool. A friend of mine was at an estate sale and found the album, Like to Get to Know You. And he said, Donna, you know Spanky, right? I go, yeah. He says, can you get her to sign this? So after exchanges of phone calls, my sister and I went down. She lives in Ferndale, and we have mutual friends in the music industry. And she signed the album, and then next time I heard from her, she invited me to her 84th birthday party, which is June 19th. I know. It's very cool. I forgot what else I was going to share, so that'll wait. So please, let's make our circle. It's a chatty day when there's fewer people here, isn't it? I'd like to get to know you. You know that one. All right, good job. We have our circle. Thank you.